Well, today we are going to learn what is HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. As the name suggests, HTML is not a programming language. It is a markup language. It is used to do the structure of a web page. It is used to create web pages online, and we can create some HTML files in our computer. How HTML looks like. First we have a left angle bracket, then the tag name, and then we use a right angle bracket, and then we need to enclose some content, and then in this case we are using the text. Now we need to close the tags, so we use a left angle bracket slash the tag name and the right angle bracket. And in the next example we are doing a heading. So in the first example we are using a p tag, so the p tag is used to do a paragraph. And then in the next example we are using a h1 tag that is used to do a heading. There are many header tags, but I am showing you some example. This is a h1 tag. We use a left angle bracket, the name of the tag, right angle bracket, the content here which is text, and then we need to close the tag with a slash. The difference between the opening tag and the closing tag in HTML is that in the opening tag we don't use a slash, but in the closing tag we need to use a slash. That is very important. And in some HTML tags like the HR or the IMG tag, we don't need to use a closing tag. We don't need a closing tag, so we don't use the forward slash. This is the HTML page structure. We have the doc type HTML, the HTML tag, the head tag, the title tag, the closing title, and then the head close, body. Then we have some content in the body. This is the body is a tag where we write the content, and then we need to close the HTML tag with a slash. These are some HTML tags. First we have the strong tag, which is used to make the text bold. Then we have the IMG tag, the HR tag. This tag has no ending tag. These two tags have no ending tag. Then we have the article tag, the header tag, the audio is used to insert audio. Then the div, which is a container. I will be showing you all of them in the next videos. Then we have the form, footer, nav, aside, and more. There are many of them, but we need only some of them because we don't need to use all of them in our files. Whenever we do an HTML file, we need to save it with a .html extension. That is very important. Whenever you create an HTML file, save it with a .html extension. If you save it with a .html extension, you are telling the browser that the file which we are creating is an HTML file, and then you can put any name. You can call it home.html, index.html, or anything you like, but I like to call it index.html. Now, to run HTML files and to do HTML coding, we need some tools. So to do the coding, we need a text editor. You can use Atom, Sublime Text, Bracket, Visual Studio Code, or maybe anything, Notepad++, Notepad, etc. You can use any text editor of your choice. Then you need a web browser to see the output of the code. I always recommend you to use the latest web browser. You can use Google Chrome, Apple Safari, Microsoft Edge, then anything you like, any browser, Mozilla Firefox. But I always recommend you to use Google Chrome because in Google Chrome we have the Chrome Dev tools that we need to use sometimes. Now, what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheet. It is used to style web pages. So with HTML, we only do the structure, we only do the content. But if we do HTML and if we do the content, it doesn't look good, it doesn't look so good. So we can style it with the CSS. It is a styling language. Then in CSS, we have three types of CSS. Inline CSS. In inline CSS, we do the styles we define, in inline CSS, we style a specific element, and then we have the internal CSS which we use in our HTML document to style many HTML elements, and then finally we have the external CSS which we use in an external file. So to do the styles, we use an external CSS file and we need to connect it with some tag. I will be showing you all of them in the next videos, but there are 3 types of styles in CSS. Now, how CSS looks like. First we have the tag. This is a P tag. This is called a selector. In this case we are using the P selector. Then we have the curly braces, and then we have the styles, and then after we have done the styles, we need to close the styles with a we need to close the styles with the curly braces. Then we have done the P tag, so the P tag will change like this. Something like this will happen. The color red will be applied and the font weight will be changed to bold. And so this is the property and this is the value. So in the color property, and this is a red, this is a value, and we divide the property and the value by using the colon, the colon. And in the next example we are giving it a bold. We are making the text bold, and we can also do the H1. So we are using a H1 selector. Color, we are applying the color to blue, font size 20 pixels, and then we need to close the styles with a curly brace, and then it will change something like this. So the color blue will be applied and the font size 20 pixel will be given. Now these are some CSS properties. This is text align, which is used to align the text. We have the opacity, margin, padding, color, width, height, background, border radius, display, and font family. Font family is used to change the font. Then we have the margin, the amount of space between the text and the edge of the page. Color, which I already showed you, width, height, background. There are many properties. We need only some of them. You don't need to learn all of them. And whenever we do an external CSS file, we need to save it with a .css extension. It is very important to save an external CSS file with a .css extension, and we can call this anything. You can call it style.css, styles.css, or anything you like. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Thank you.